The letter to the Ephesians says that by working in and through us, God can do more than we ask for or even imagine. In 2017, St. James Cathedral gathered for worship, grew closer as a community, fed hungry neighbors, sang new songs, and reached out to the world more than we imagined we could this time last year. Thanks to the hospitality of clergy, the Welcome Committee, and parishioners like you, the 12,944 people who worshipped at St. James on Sunday mornings was a 15% increase over the year before. We celebrate this because every number has a name, and every name is a part of the story of St. James Cathedral. In 2017, 9 people were baptized and welcomed into the St. James community, and we rejoiced in confirming and reaffirming the faith of 4 others at the Easter Vigil. Outside of our primary services on Sunday mornings, there are 11 regular acts of worship each week at St. James. These weekday services have felt a renewal of spirit and an uptick in attendance.
In the summer of 2017, we found ourselves needing to move upstairs from our regular space of worship in the chapel up to the cathedral itself for our weekday Eucharist. There was construction downstairs that meant that we weren't able to have our usual weekday Eucharist down in the chapel. So we relocated upstairs for what we thought would be a temporary move, and as it got to the end of the summer, we discovered the worship up in the cathedral itself had taken on a different character. We were finding that our attendance had grown in ways that we weren't expecting or anticipating. Not only were we having more people coming for the 12:10 Eucharist, but we were having different people coming. Also, as we moved into the program year in the fall, our dean came back from his time away and said that he really wanted morning prayer to become a part of the life of this congregation. He wanted it to be the heartbeat of prayer at the center of all we do. And so he instituted morning prayer on a daily basis as well. And I'm just very excited at the growth that's happened this year in the life of the cathedral, as we always are endeavoring to extend God's hospitality to those around us, and doing so in the space of the cathedral itself has been a great grace and a joy.
While worship shapes how we live, spiritual formation informs how we worship. At St. James, there were 190 formation opportunities during the year for those interested in developing their faith through study and prayer. Community groups also grew in number and consistency.
One of the great things that's happened in the cathedral is a formation of a young adult group, and a growing number of young adults who have started coming since the end of the summer. In January, we met in Kyle's place for the first of what will be our regular meeting. And in those meetings, our pattern will be to have dinner, followed by some formation or a conversation. The idea there is to help us grow in our faith, to deepen our practice. And then we have a worship at the end of the meeting. All in all, it's been a good year for the young adults, and we look forward to doing more in the next 6 months.
"2017 was marked by profound financial generosity. Pledged support that increased by 26% over the previous year testified to an engaged and devoted parish family. And following the biblical teaching of tithing, with your generosity, we were able to give away 10% of every dollar toward feeding the hungry, caring for Chicago's at-risk youth, and helping charities around the world care for those whose communities or lives were disrupted by human failings or natural disasters."
God calls us to a life which is an abundant life, and I have been delighted and excited by the way in which we have increased our mission giving abundantly in 2017. We gave away over $31,000, which supported 9 different charities. These helped people not just here in Chicago and elsewhere in the US, in Florida and Texas. We also helped people in Syria, Palestine, Israel, Puerto Rico and Mexico. Of this, $7,000 went towards people affected by recent natural disasters, $6,000 went to support the lives of homeless young people, another $6,000 went towards refugees, and another $6,000 went towards orphans. This is a remarkable sign of growth and generosity, and it leaves me feeling extremely excited and privileged to be your dean.
Our financial assistance extends all around the world, touching the lives of people we may never meet. But 2017 was also a year that we significantly increased our impact on our local community, preparing meals for the hungry, turning strangers into neighbors, and sharing the joy of Christmas with our fellow Chicagoans.
The meal ministry served over 3,000 meals this year, a 12% increase over 2016. About half of those meals were served at Sandwich Sunday with the assistance of the Sunday school children, who also made sack lunches for everyone. We have had volunteers help us from 2 different parishes in Michigan, a Boy Scout troop in Indiana, and a sorority at IIT. This year we had enough donations that we could buy a $10 gift card for each of our guests for the Christmas holiday. Many volunteers have said to me, "Thanks for giving me the opportunity to serve." And I want to thank you for giving us the money that they can have the opportunity to serve. Thank you.
The St. James Cathedral community really came together when we decided to partner with Refugee One to sponsor a family of 6 from Syria. St. James raised $13,000 in only 2 weeks when our goal was $10,000. People really rallied behind our core team called the Micah 6 group and supported us by helping us furnish their apartment and prepare a warm meal for them when they came home from the airport from their long journey. On a really crummy Chicago day, St. James had this meal ready for them, and the St. James community really was flexible with all of the changes that come with supporting a family not from America and being vulnerable, but also stepping in with a lot of humor. And we're really appreciative for all the clergy support and St. James community support to make this settlement of the refugee family a really positive experience for them, but also for us.
This Christmas, 144 parishioners stepped up and supported 159 people who had submitted wish lists, Christmas wish lists, to Revive Center. All of that was provided and more by 144 parishioners of St. James Cathedral. They brought to the cathedral 101 boxes that we loaded into the truck to take to Revive to be distributed. Next year, what I'm going to do is ask Revive to send us even more families so that even more of you, all of you if possible, can support a family and make Christmas very special for them while making Christmas very special for yourself.
Many of the St. James members who prepared food for our meal ministries and shared Christmas with disadvantaged families were Cathedral youth. St. James children's programs continued to grow in 2017, and the Cathedral Choir School was reestablished, training young voices to lead worship for the first time in over 90 years.
The St. James Cathedral Choir School is a new music ministry for boys and girls in grades 3 through 8. The choristers meet every Wednesday for study hall, music lessons, rehearsal, evensong, and supper. They provide musical leadership each Sunday at the 9 o'clock service and once a month at 11. The choir school is open to children of all faith backgrounds and has already brought several dedicated new families into the Cathedral community. We look forward to the continued growth of the chorister program.
Our children come to St. James full of curiosity and delight. For 17 years, we have heard God's call to nourish this joyful wonder, not only in our own kids, but in the lives of young people from some of Chicago's most challenged neighborhoods.
Summer in the City is one of the major outreach programs for St. James Cathedral, and it's generously funded by the community And each year, over 25 volunteers from the St James community are involved with activities. Each year, over 40 campers and teen counsellors come to St James, enjoy the city, enjoy adventures such as kayaking and arts activities, theatre, dance, painting. 2018 is going to see some changes for summer in the city. Last year we said goodbye to Father Ed, who'd been director of the programme for over 5 years. Ed accepted a call some 70 miles away and obviously was finding it difficult to do both. So last fall the executive board set out to recruit a new director, and we're delighted to have found Tony Santiago, very experienced arts programme director around the city. And so he is working with the executive board at the moment to improve the programme for 2018 and really make it even better.
Hey everybody, my name is Tony Santiago. I am the new SITC director for 2018. I'm really excited to be here. Over the last 10 years, I've worked in Chicago as an artist and an art producer. I've worked really hard to make arts more accessible to youth, and I'm really excited to be here. Thank you.
One of the other priorities for 2018 is to increase the engagement of the St James community. So we're going to be asking for more volunteers to get engaged with the children and to really make this programme better, even better than it's ever been.
2017 was a year of worship, service, generosity, and community building at St. James. We are mindful of our shortcomings this past year, thankful for God's fulfilled promises on our journey together, and grateful that you trust, believe in, and support the ministry of St. James Cathedral.